Visitor recognition, we have Dr. Carlos Hernandez, who requested time to present information to us. And Doctor, we do have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, board members. And I wanted to bring to the attention of the board that Fort Duncan Regional Medical Center is a private hospital owned by UHS. The Maverick County Hospital District used to own that hospital, and it was sold to UHS. And in the wisdom of the Board of Trustees at that time, they created an advisory board that will supervise, oversee the operation of Fort Duncan Regional Medical Center, which was owned at that time, it was bought by UHS. At this time, we're having several issues in order to perform our duties as an advisory board. I was elected this year as the chairman of that board, and UHS has requested 2 of their employees to be voting members in that advisory board. And I have recommended against it. There was a motion and it was second, and I was not able to voice my concerns at that moment, and the vote carried. I have informed UHS that that vote is invalid. I was present. I stepped out of the board meeting for an answering call of an emergency. And when I returned, the vote was carried without discussion and without all the present members to be able to express their concerns. As you all know, when UHS bought the hospital, they signed a contract for 25 years where Maverick County Hospital District will be able to use this advisory board to recommend what to perform and how to perform best for the community. The reason we created this board was to supervise and provide the best care for the community. And we think the medical community and some of the board members at the advisory board consider that is a threat to the community to allow UHS to have 2 voting members. We, as we can see on the bylaws, which were adopted in 2002, the first modification was recommended until 2011. So for 10 years, more or less, this hospital has operated without modification of the bylaws of the advisory board. And then if we see at the statement on the purpose, the Board of Trustees shall act in advisory capacity to oversee and review the management of the hospital and to provide for the self-government of the medical staff under the medical staff bylaws and hierarchy. The UHS Corporation is trying to control the medical staff, and we see that as a threat. There is a doctor that has already applied for privilege at the hospital for more than 6 months, and he has not been granted at least the process of study the application and denied or approved his privileges. We see that as a threat to the independence of the medical doctors, which are not employees of UHS, and who are willing to come to our town, which is a rural area, underserved, and we consider that this threat has to be stopped. So I have come to you as the owners, previous owners of this hospital, as the representatives of the community, to be alert of this threat that UHS is performing. As you know, UHS is a Fortune 500 corporation who has a lot of money and power to control this small community. I ask you to please intervene and control this threat.
Doctor, we have some of our board members that are also members of that advisory board.
That's correct. And the wisdom of this board when it sold the hospital was to put those members permanent.
Right.
Mr. Farias is one of them. Juan Martinez is one of them. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, Dr. Mita, for example, she resigned. She's no longer in that board. So little by little, after 12, 14 years since they bought the hospital, we have been losing power in that board. And now UHS wants to include 2 of their employees as voting members to, again, go after their agenda, which in most of the cases has not been in the best interest of the community.
So was that motion to grant them voting powers to the two UHS members, was that rescinded by the advisory board?
At the moment when I returned to the room, yes. Unfortunately, Dr. Hickson made the motion. He didn't want to rescind the motion. So we had another special meeting where I informed UHS that motion was not carried correctly. They did not follow the Robert Rule of Law because I was not given the opportunity to express my concerns before the vote was carried. I had just stepped out of the board meeting for a few seconds. When I returned, the motion had carried without me expressing my concern. I had already signed into the board. I was there for several minutes. And at the moment of the vote, I didn't expect it.
But you're the chairman of that board, aren't you?
No, I was elected that day, but I was not executing my functions.
The chairman of the meeting.
It was Dr. Mr. Juan Martinez who was chairing the meeting
at the time. Okay. Yeah. And so where do we stand now? I mean, it was approved. How did our board members vote on that? On those two?
It was unanimous.
Unanimous in favor. Of granting the universal health.
Right.
Right.
Including a doctor.
Right.
Including Dr. Galicia.
Because we didn't hear the comments from Dr. Hernandez. He made them, like I stated, we didn't hear from you. And that's what was troubling, that he didn't have the opportunity to say some things.
Well, he did, sir, but he left. Now, what?
I didn't leave, sir. I just answered an emergency call. I'm a doctor.
No. You left the room.
Well, I just came to present.
Yes or no?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes or no?
I didn't come to do a polemic. I came to present the concerns that I have.
Right.
I apologize, but I have a delivery right now.
Yes.
I just received the call, sir, and you can see that I have the call.
No, we do.
Okay, I apologize.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Doctor, we'll discuss whatever.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the.
Take care of your
I have to leave.
medical